Hello, today we are making crepes. It's super fast, super fun, super easy. So let's go over what are the ingredients and the equipment tools you're going to need before we even start. First of all, if you have a blender, you can get a blender. If you don't have a blender, not a big deal. You can mix everything by hand, but from experience, a blender is going to be great. Also, what we are going to need a non-stick pan, okay? And a spatula to go with those things. Remember, you don't want to use a metal spatula with a non-stick pan. All right, now for the actual food ingredients. What you are going to need to is, I am going to do a savory crepe. If you want to do a sweet crepe, you can put whatever you want in it, okay? It's kind of the same thing. It's basically a pancake. That's a little bit better. So I have some wild salmon. I like to use wild salmons instead of farm salmon. Farm fish is a bit weird to me. But I have some arugula I like to do. I have some basil, some chopped up chives, and some avocado. For some reason, when I see this color of the salmon, I like to add a lot of green to it. I am going to use boursin. If you don't know what boursin is, it's basically a goat cheese, cream cheese hybrid. I think this is fantastic, again, with all the flavors that we have going with the salmon. Okay, cool. You're also going to need 2 eggs. You're going to need some type of vegetable oil. I like to use grapeseed oil. I would say use canola or grapeseed oil. I like grapeseed oil more than canola oil. Try not to use olive oil. You're going to have a very olive oil taste. Some milk. I use soy milk, actually. That's for me. Some butter, homemade butter. In another video, I showed what that was, how to make that. Some salt, easy peasy, and you're going to need some all-purpose flour, okay? All right, let's get moving. Let's do it. So first what we want to do is we want to prep all our ingredients. So if you haven't done this, so I always talk about data with cooking everything. You want to get everything ready to go so you can just get moving and you're not chopping, cutting, doing all that stuff while other stuff is happening, because this is going to move pretty quick. So get all your ingredients ready. Pause if you need to pause. Get everything that you want to put in a crepe, and we're good. But let's assume you got that. Next, we are going to get out our blender. Okay, so if you like to bake, I actually really enjoy baking. We are going to, you don't want to mix everything all at once. You want to do the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients separately. So we are actually going to do the wet ingredients first. I'm going to put in 2 eggs. And I have a compost. That's what this thing is. I have worms that not internally. I have a little worm garden. All right, we have our eggs, and now we're going to add 1.5 cups of milk. So I have my half cup measuring cup. So I'm going to do this 3 times, adding 1.5. Okay, we got our milk. We are done with that thing. Next is we're going to put 1 tablespoon of oil in here. I have some friends that say milk instead of milk. And now I don't have any friends anymore. Okay, we're going to close this up and we're ready to go, okay? Okay, we just needed to get the wet ingredients put together. Now it's time for the dry ingredients, and it's going to be so easy. We're going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Okay, we're done with that. If you are making a sweet crepe, you can add, here's where you would add in about a tablespoon of sugar, depending on how sweet you want. If you're not, then disregard. Okay, and now we're going to add 1 cup of all-purpose flour. I'm going to try to even mine out a little bit. Okay, 1 cup. Okay, let's give it another blend. I'm going to set my burner to a medium heat. So whatever medium is on yours, we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. We actually need to take this nice and easy. I'm going to put my nonstick pan right on top, and we're just going to chill out. We're going to chill out, and we are going to wait. While we're waiting, I'm going to add a little bit of butter because I just want to watch melting happen. All right, my butter looks pretty melted. I'm going to shoot it around a bit. All right, so I'm going to let you in on a secret. Your first crepe is going to suck. It's going to be ruined. The second crepe is what we're really aiming for. So we are just going to see how well we can do. Also, what I would say is don't put too much batter. You want a thin crepe. Like that's good enough. And then I just have to smooth it around a little bit. So as this is going, we're just monitoring it. We're not doing anything else. We're not focusing on Domo dashboards. We're not doing anything. We are just watching it. And what we're looking for are those bubbles to come about. Okay? And I told you the first one's going to be terrible. And also, you might want to get another plate ready. I have another plate ready to house my crepe. So I'll usually have a plate or a cutting board where I will land my crepes when they're done. Okay, so you see how I'm able to move it around a little bit, and the only thing moving is the butter. That tells me we're looking pretty good. Okay, yep, still way too gooey. So that tells me I'm good. I'm gonna turn up the heat just a little bit. All right, let's see if we can flip this bad boy. Our first one, told you, sucks. That's okay, that's okay. All right, now let's do the real one. So I have my pan here. I'm going to add a little bit of butter, and let's go for it. I'm just swirling it around, right, to get some of the batter everywhere. It's like basically a French pancake. All right, well that's going, I'm gonna grab another plate that we're gonna put our real crepe on. Good, and we can see this is moving a little bit faster. Bubbles are happening on the sides. It's still too gooey right there. It's looking good. All right, we're gonna try to flip it. Get under it. Oh yeah, baby. Looking good. Look at that, looks beautiful. Okay, let's do our same thing. Let's add some cheese to this one. My goat cheese, cream cheese, boursin mixture. All right, it's good enough. Let's add some of our other ingredients, and we're going to layer it. Okay, we're going to be also resist the urge to do too much. And I'll do one more little spot over there. I hear it going. Hey, and remember, in cooking, you control the heat. If it's moving too quickly for you and you feel overwhelmed, turn off the heat. Move the pan off of the burner. Not a big deal. All right, I'm going to add in my avocado. So I have avocado, arugula, boursin, my salmon. Okay, now let's check this bottom again. Looking good though, looking good. Oh yeah, baby. All right, cool. We are basically done. So now we have different types of ways we could do the crepe. We can fold it and fold it again. That's kind of the main way that I'm used to. I'm gonna fold it once, push on it a little bit. I like to do that square kind of. So I'm gonna push on the edges, kind of like origami. Yes, sir. Push on the edges, keep it in place. Cool. And then I'm going to push down there. All right, so now I'm just going to reshape it. I'm going to reform it. Take my bottom, beautiful. Take my spatula, flip it again. Oh yeah, baby. Looks good. Okay, almost done. All right, so what I also like to add to mine is this balsamic glaze. I think it's great. We're just gonna, yeah, baby. Look at that. Add some of our chives. Oh yeah, and there we go. Cool. All right. Hey, so now that your pan is nice and hot, you feel free to use the rest of that batter. Go for it. Now, another fold that we can do on this one is you could fold it just in half. Similar to an omelet, to a quesadilla. Cool. And fold it in half. And I'm gonna try to get the edges to align as best I can. Don't worry if you didn't muster it up. Pushing down. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do another fold halfway. Yes, sir. Oops. There we go. That's what I wanted. And I'm just pushing down to secure it a little bit. All right, I'm gonna check the bottom. How am I looking on the bottom? Looking pretty good. You know, I'm going to add a smidge more butter. I know, what? Dairy farmers must love this. Okay. I'm just looking to brown it. I just want it in there, buddy. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm going to show you another secret. All right, so let's say we want our presentation side, which is the bottom of it, to be up, right? It's going to be very hard for you to take it and put it on a plate and flip it. What you can do is if you have a lid that is the same circumference of your pan, you can take that lid, okay? And now I can flip it. I'll turn this heat off first, be safe. Now I can flip it, and there's my presentation side. And now, there we go. Looking great. Okay, we're basically done. I'm going to add, I like to add this glaze to it. This balsamic glaze. Yep. Add our chives that we prepped earlier. Looking good, looking good, looking good. And there we go. All right, let's check it out. Look, we have 2 crepes. Looking great. Just folded differently. That's it. But super, super easy. Let's crack into them. Let's go take a bite. And here's what I want to show you too. You can see our inside has that gooey melted cheese. That's what we're looking for. Yeah. Okay. Moment of truth. Damn, man. Gooey boursin. Man. Love it. Why am I dashboarding? I need to open a restaurant. What am I doing? Great job. Good luck to you. Hopefully it worked out for you. And now you know how to make crepes.